Okay, I should be streaming now. Let me go ahead and go make sure just to be absolutely sure that's what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and do my personal channel. It says I'm online, so it seems like they restored my channel, which is cool. I'm glad. Yeah, it says I'm working, so cool. What we're gonna do today is go ahead and get started on just general projects I've been working on. I really want to work on Infall. Infall is a browser fork of Firefox I've been working on. It's after quite a few different things, primarily being privacy, general user experience makes things really easy for people. And then on top of that, it's been more modern integration, meaning like resources that you have access to, like AI tooling, whatnot. It currently offers different things like the option of let's say API models. So let's say you use something like Gemini or Claude or whatever, as well as the option for local models from Olama, which that'll work great. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. You'll probably be using the normal average API models then, which is totally fine. They're still great. Past that, I've already implemented a basic ad blocker into it, so it'll do a pretty decent job. It's not quite uBlock. It's a modified version of uBlock. It's all something else I did that I actually am pretty proud about. Is I'm trying to avoid telemetry as much as I can, right? Because I don't like that in a browser. But unfortunately, that's kind of part of the whole idea of a browser and how it functions. But the what I have it literally feed into nothing, so that it doesn't go anywhere. So like technically the calls are there, so it'll continue to work, but like it doesn't actually go to anyone. It literally just goes to the void. Um, and then from that, let me think. What else have I done? Oh, excuse me. I overhauled the onboarding process, and I also rewrote the entire settings structure. I don't like the current one for Firefox. I also rewrote the web view to make it work on mobile better. Um, Trying to think what else. Oh, I removed Firefox Sync out of the browser. It now has a replacement that works with Nextcloud. It has sort of Google Drive integration, but you have to have a local utility to use it. I'm not going to put actual native Google services in this. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do that. Like, you'll have access to Google search, but I'm not doing more than that. And then on top of that, there was, let me think. That was the last thing I did. There was one more. Oh, yeah, I replaced the package manager. So the Firefox package manager is not even in it. It uses a combination between either Proton Pass or KeyPass XC, depending on what you want. You get to choose. One's local, and we'll just use an encrypted file or database. The other is through the Proton stuff, like I said, Proton Pass. Um, just I wanted to give a general rundown before we get started on this, so that you are not completely lost, because this is going to seem a little bit probably overwhelming at first, because Firefox codebase is pretty big. So please keep that in mind, and you'll be all right. I promise. Let's go ahead and go here. Go to scene 2, I think. Scene. Yeah, there we go. Now I just gotta go capture the thing. Let me first log in via the SSH session into the server, and then I will go ahead and show my screen behind me, okay? Just gonna take a second. Do this. Connect to host. Do that. And then we will go ahead. Do that. It's gonna probably prompt me for my password, I'm gonna bet. Oh, it's already open. What am I doing? Open Proton. Oh, did it actually already log in? I kind of think it already logged in. I probably have keys set, more than likely, knowing me. I have a hard time remembering everything. So you'll notice I document things inside of the repository so I can check on it later. I'll see it and it'll catch my interest. Um, because I'll remember I put the document, but I'm not going to remember what's in it. That's just how my brain works. I struggle in that regard pretty heavily. But good at what I do. So what can we do? We can't complain. All right, I'm in. I'm gonna go and hit file, open folder. The reason I haven't shown it quite yet is because it's gonna prompt me again to put in a password anyways. So I'll have to redo that thing anyways because my full screen thing on X11 is broken right now, and I'm just gonna have to capture the window. So let me see. Go back. You go to documents where I stored it. Cool. There's info. Okay. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and change it over in OBS. Excuse me, my voice today is just such a problem. There you go, and then we'll go ahead and do... I'm so tired. Alright, there we go. That is not what I wanted. I'm gonna do this, transform. Fit the screen, just like that. Do that. I know you can't see me. I know I'm moving myself. I promise. There we go. Let me move me up here though, because I don't matter as much up here. Because you're gonna need to be able to see what I'm doing down here. So, go ahead, lock me in, and there we go. Now we'll get started. I'm gonna close this. Alright, so if we come and look at what's changed, you'll notice I used Libre.js. That's not for privacy reasons. Libre.js is significantly faster than standard JavaScript. That was the reason why I pulled that in. I actually have a fork, and that's called Free.js technically, but it just has a couple of optimizations that standard Libre.js doesn't have. That's all it is. That's the only difference. And then you'll notice here, like I said, there's some documentation. So there's gonna be yeah. Ignore all that. We're adding a web app support. It's already actually natively integrated into Firefox. You just have to enable it. VM support's a little different because that's a whole other thing I'll get into later. That's not super important. What this is there is a website called vscode.dev. It is, think of it literally like VS Code in a web browser. I actually need to go ahead and implement that. We'll actually work on this part first today. Because I like to jump around a little bit as I'm working, so sometimes it may not seem coherent or linear to you, but like I promise it makes sense up here. So what we'll go ahead and do is we need to have it, I need you to please read advanced features if I can type. Plan.md, and then please start on feature number 1. So you'll notice, why are you not sending? Come on. And please start on feature 1. What is going on? This is so strange. Okay, it was just being slow, I guess. I don't know. That was the slowest I've ever seen this go. It's never been that slow for me. There's that. Later I need to reboot this. I'm not worried about it right now. My phone's in the other room. Whatever. I suppose it's not that big of a deal. Cool. There's that. Oh, how can I help you? Alrighty, let's go check on it. Yeah, I wish they would go back to having the drop down so I can see actively what it's thinking. Because sometimes, right, I'll ask a question or I'll tell it exactly what I want and what I need it to be doing, and obviously I look it over before I accept it. But I and then like it'll get done, right? And then it does an entirely different thing than they wanted it to do. But like there's no way to stop it in between because we have no idea what it's doing. Blows my mind that they did that. I don't get it. But yeah, as I said though, as you'll see here, as I told you, there's AI integration. There's my branding for it because I can't use the Firefox stuff or we can get in trouble. Then there's Chrome, which this is just theme stuff. This is just some defaults for my stuff. This is for packages whenever it gets shipped. Um, this is Firefox itself for like building for the most part. So you can see here it's just a Arch Linux package build. Um, you have FreeJS, which I guess I did a fork of LibreJS that I made. IceCat is for a bunch of patches they use. Um, my project, this is, let me see, what was this for? Oh, this was just a test. That's all it was. Node modules, I'm not, yeah, no, that had to do with something entirely different. But yeah, as you can see, there's been some work done. We're just working on stuff. Come on. Kind of a messy code base. I really need to clean it up, but whatever. We're coming to. I was reading something. Wow. Let me see. That. You know, today was a good day. It started out pretty bad, but it ended up pretty good. Um, so I don't want to like get my hopes up, but I have a couple of neurological issues, meaning conditions. Um, and now we're investigating whether they are attached to my physiological issues. And if they are, it could mean some diagnoses are wrong, which that I guess has my hopes up and has me excited. I'm trying not to get too excited, or then if it's wrong, then we'll have a letdown, right? And be like, oh, why? I'm allowed to be excited though. Yeah, I'm so tired. I don't know why. You're right. Yeah, we're just still waiting right here, so I'm gonna have to update the HTML files. I can tell you that already. Copilot did a terrible job on that type of stuff. We'll do this. Yep. We're gonna have to wait until this finishes, though. I don't want to confuse it. It's not so much that this will get confused. It's more so this will be working and then overwrite stuff that this one would be doing, and it then just becomes a nightmare. Believe me. Okay? That's my music, which you guys shouldn't be able to hear. Um, Alright, so I went ahead and finished. Let's see, it says I've reviewed the advanced. Okay. Cool. I'm not even going to check it yet. Here's why, because this is not going to be the final version. We're just going to go ahead and run this. This is going to take forever, I can tell you that already, because it's going to update every single HTML file. I trust this to do a decent job. I've worked with Gemini plenty of times on this type of web technology, and it does a great job. Again, I will review it before accepting it, so don't worry on that. And if I need to make changes, I'll make small changes here and there. We'll see. I've actually considered just making this an automated process, but I know I'd get chewed out for that. Gosh, why am I so tired? I should not be this tired. Um, how long have I even been streaming? I kind of wonder. 23 minutes? Not even really that much in the mood to stream. But, yeah, I'm just going to stop streaming. If you want to see this, you can go to you can go over to my GitHub and look at it, so you know. It'll probably be on my GitLab too. Not on GitLab.com, but the Accretion OS GitLab. So, on that note, I will